Hi, and welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Legacy United Beast Wars Universe Silverbolt. And we have the Fuzor Silverbolt, our first of the Fuzors for the Generations line. I hope not the last. I think we'll at least get Quick Strike. Hopefully we get maybe some of the toy-centric only ones. But he looks fantastic. This was hands down the toy I was most excited about of Legacy United Wave 2. I really, really love Silverbolt as a character. I never had the original as a toy as a kid, so it's really cool to see him now, and he looks pretty great. My complaint is mostly minor. His base plastic color here, you can see kind of here without the feather detailing, is really bland. It's not quite the prototype gray plastic, but it's very close. It feels a little more shiny. So to some extent, it does absorb a little bit of the details that we have. They did a fantastic job painting. I just wish we had a bigger paint budget. I wish this feathering went all the way through. Across here with the black, it looks really, really good. I wish we had, a little more paint on the legs. Where we just have the gray plastic, unfortunately, looks a little bland. But everywhere there's color, he looks fantastic. It just pops. I really like the feather details and his eagle feathers on the back here. I love the bronze, like this bronze to black, color change. That looks fantastic. We've got a neat wolf head and eyes. He can, there we go, open his little wolf mouth. Unfortunately, no color there. That feels like an opportunity for some additional color. We have nice big talons up front, smallish little wolf feet. And yeah, he looks pretty fantastic. In terms of articulation, it's pretty good. Obviously, like as a Fuzor, he's, wolf body and then like eagle kind of top half, or not even half, like eagle wings and feathers. It looks fantastic, and the wings give us a lot of points of articulation. The wing can go up at this primary joint. It has a secondary joint here, so you can get some, if you want to fold things down. We do have some range extension here, which is nice. You can fold the feathers back to hang out or spread them wide, almost like, fanning them out forward. No articulation on the tail feathers. It would have been neat if they had the budget to add a joint here so we could articulate the feathers kind of up and down. We did see the head has, a little bit of articulation. It doesn't really break the sculpt too much, and it's kind of nice that you can open up his mouth and then tilt it up like he's howling. I do like that, even though that's not probably intentional. We do have the joints on his shoulders are isolated because he pegs in here. So you need to unpeg the shoulder, but then you do get shoulder range here, and then you can come back and peg them back in place. The intention is not to move it, but that universal joint is still available if you want to unpeg things. We do have a joint here, nice and robust. Gets you, so far. We do have a joint here, and what I really appreciate are the fact that we can turn these out. The ability for the feet to spread out or come in does a lot to let his body emote through body language. I do really, really appreciate that. The fingers or claws are not individually articulated, and there's no separation between the front claws and the back claw, but I think, again, a minor issue, but, budget cuts here and there. And then on the back legs, same thing. These are pegged in. You could unpeg things to get a little more rotation at the hip, but the intention is that it is pegged and locked in place. And then you do have a knee joint here, nothing else on the back leg. So I'd say in terms of articulation, it's a little on the poor side compared to other beast forms. Where it really gets points for me is, I think, is just the sculpt itself is really nice, and the fact that we're getting this character. And he does look good next to all his Maximal buddies. Now this was, I think, the Fuzors were announced in the second episode or third episode of season 2. So we have all the season 1 cast of the Maximals, and they look really good together. I mean, he rounds out the set. Now, obviously, Silverbolt, Tigertron, and Air Razor didn't have much on-screen time. They get taken away pretty early on in season 2 after Silverbolt shows up. But yeah, this team looks fantastic. And obviously, later on, Black Arachnia does join, so we do get to see how they look together. And there was that little, I felt like it wasn't really a major love triangle or anything, but it was like teased kind of that Cheetor had a crush on Black Arachnia also. So there's how those three look together. And then the other one that I want to show off, if you've got your Transmutate, here's how they look together. And obviously, Transmutate in the show doesn't transform, so I don't bother showing her fossilizer form. But yeah, Silverbolt's, you can see he's a pretty decent sized, I'd say a big deluxe small Voyager. It is unfortunate we are kind of seeing another shrinkflation thing happening with these size classes, which is a little unfortunate, but Silverbolt doesn't seem to be super affected by that change. All right, transformation on Silverbolt is very simple. We're going to start out by popping up his head, which essentially just pops up this whole top half of his torso. We pop up the tail. It's all attached to a single pin joint that we can just swivel around to get it backwards. Then we can unpin his arms, or his front legs, which will become his robot mode legs when we stretch them out. We can come in on his stomach, flip down his stomach piece, which reveals some robot mode detail. We're going to split apart the back legs on his wolf legs. And we can unpin these first and then split these apart. And they have a double hinge system, so this is going to collapse, and then this piece is going to accordion up. It's actually surprisingly elegant. I like it a lot. Next, we can unpin his arm here, flip in his wolf leg, and we get a robot mode forearm. Same thing on this side. Flipping this around, it helps both bulk in his bicep and give him, a distinct robot forearm. Then we can flip up his robot mode head. We can take his wolf mode head, flip it in, and it's going to come in nicely. And then we close up his robot mode head on top, which it kind of gets things flush and really helps hide the wolf mode head a lot. And here we flip around his thighs, and this is Silverbolt in his robot mode, and he looks pretty dang good. Starting out, I love that head sculpt. It really mixes up lupine features and raptor features, just looks great. It is on a ball joint. My only complaint is because of the shape of the neck cut, he doesn't really get to look up very far. I would have preferred if this neck cut was angled up a little bit to allow us to tilt this head back a bit, but it does have a little bit of wiggle, even though it acts more like a swivel than anything else. We do have 360 on the shoulder, can go out that far. We do have a bicep swivel, but it is a super high bicep swivel. It's up here in the joint. And if you want a little extra flexibility, you could, but since this hinge goes down, it doesn't really add much to it. But you do get bicep swivel here. We do have a nice curl due to transformation, but it is going to cause this wolf leg to come out. So you can get kind of 90 degrees without that wolf leg. I do think I wish that this locked in a little tighter so it doesn't come apart as you're playing around with him. We do have wrist swivel, which I appreciate. We do have a waist swivel, which is nice. We do have the full Van Damme on the legs. We can kick up plenty far. We can kick back plenty far until he starts running into his own wings. We do have a nice deep 90-degree knee bend, thigh swivel, ankle tilt that we saw, in his wolf mode, as well as some toe tilt, and all the same articulation on the wings as we had before. And these wings, these forward feathers can be popped up to give him his little feather blades. And again, I think he looks really, really great. The only complaint in articulation I really have is just because he's a flying, robot, I really would have loved for him to be able to look forward while he's flying. That's my biggest complaint in terms of articulation. Everything else is pretty solid. This joint could, maybe I just wasn't locking it. There it is. It's, you know what? once you actually lock it so it connects, it's very secure. I just need to press it in more. That is totally my fault. Overall, he looks great. It's all the same colors as before. Maybe the red in the stomach is new. But that leads to my other complaint, which is I felt like in wolf mode, because we got like this back color and added some more color, I needed more feathering color patterns here. It does have me thinking of like, okay, is there any chance that Takara does a version of this with more paint work? Because I think more paint, less of the prototype gray plastic would really, really make him pop. As is, he looks good and he's posable and he's Silverbolt and I love him. He is, I mean, this wave of Voyagers, like I said, you know, in alt mode, he seemed like a big deluxe, a small Voyager. Same thing here, big deluxe, small Voyager. Comparing him to kind of the other Voyager and then our shard here, you can see kind of the difference in sizes here. But the Voyagers in Wave 2 of Legacy United have been really spot on. I think the general consensus is that Cybertron Starscream is the favorite. It's the best Voyager of the wave. For me, I like this guy, but that's mostly nostalgia. I readily admit that's my nostalgia goggles on. But he, you know, you can't go wrong with the Voyagers in Wave 2. They're both pretty fantastic. And yeah, he looks really, really good, especially next to his buddies. Let's bring in our Femme Fatale. So here's how he looks with Black Arachnia. And I like my Transformers couples. I don't know what else to say. I really, really like them together. It's real cute. It's real adorable. If we bring in, you know, we've got Transmutate. I really just need a Maximal X, a Weapon X. I want my big Crabbot. I'm excited to get, you know, more Fuzors here and there, more Transmetal 2 stuff. We've got, if we're doing like just the Season 1 Maximal lineup, the group looks really good together. And obviously, again, Tigertron and Airazor don't last that long. But yeah, the group... Oh, where's Dinobot? The group looks really good together. It makes me really happy to like have this crew again. Even if I haven't been so excited about the armorizers and things, I just appreciate getting modern updates of the Beast Wars cast. That's really all I need to be happy. I think I've realized. Silverbolt is an easy recommendation. The only reasons not to get him are if you're not a Beast Wars fan, which totally get. If you think that you want to wait out for a better paint deco, which I think it's like 50-50 on it happening in the future. But other than that, I mean, it's just a nice Voyager. It's the simple but fun transformation. And he looks really good and he plays really fun and I'm excited to have him. I need a quick strike. I heard, is there a rumor that we're getting like a core class quick strike? I hope that's not true. I need a quick strike that can stand up to Silverbolt so I can pair them off against each other. But that is it for today's review. Thanks everybody for watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye.